Hello, fellow students. My name is Jennifer Boyd. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I did some research for my state on the requirements for licensing. They do require at least 48 hours of a master's degree. I found this information on pr.mo.gov/counselors.asp. If you are seeking your master's degree online, however, specifically, they require it to be a mental health track. So here I am. The areas of study that are considered the core study requirements would be counseling theory, human growth development, helping relationships, social and cultural foundations, career development, appraisal of individuals, group dynamics, research methods, professional orientation, diagnosis, plus 6 hours practicum. The hours that are required post-masters would be 3,000. Yes, that's what I said. 3,000. This is what is a bit overwhelming to me and feels like it will be a challenge. Being in my 40s and working full-time, you cannot obtain these hours sooner than 24 months. So there's 2 years at least. And it has to be done before 5 years. So I did a little calculation, and working full-time plus doing 20 hours a week in supervised hours, it would be almost 3 years for me to do that, on top of probably 3 years to finish this degree. So this is a long road, and so it can be daunting. So I try not to think too far ahead, for God's word says in Psalms that I will not waste my time thinking of things that are way far beyond my own thinking. I'll leave that up to the Lord. Out of those 3,000 hours, 1,200 hours need to be direct client contact, individually or group therapy. 2 weeks needs to be in individual supervision, and up to 2 weeks can be group therapy. However, there can't be more than 3 counselors in training to 1 supervisor ratio. There also needs to be 1 hour a week as supervised face-to-face experience. The supervisor, him or herself, needs to be a licensed psychologist or a licensed psychiatrist and engaged in a minimum of 15 hours of counseling duties a week, plus have a minimum of 2 years of supervised experience already under their belt, which I can definitely appreciate. In order to get your license as a professional counselor here in Missouri, after all these requirements are fulfilled, you then pass an online exam that's administered by the National Board of Certified Counselors, and this is the National Counselor Examination, only offered online, unless you have internet issues or technical disabilities. You can do it by paper. But we have licensing here in 3 tiers. You have your LPC, or my apologies, you first have your PLPC, which is your provisional license as a professional counselor, which is what you receive immediately. It's just like an automatic issuing after you've submitted all of your required hours, and obviously your degree. So once all that's met, you will be licensed as a provisional professional counselor. And then after that, you can apply for your LPC, which is your actual license. And then, of course, you can be in supervisory role after that, which is pretty common in most of the other students' videos that I've listened to. I've gone way over 3 minutes, so bear with me. You also must pass, as far as scope of practice, pass the exam. If you're emotionally or mentally impaired, you should not be ministering or counseling anyone that until you're ready, until you're able to make sound judgment. You're not allowed to have any personal gain interfere with your sound judgment. You're not to engage in any sexual relationships with clients. You cannot misrepresent your license. You must maintain all your records, and you cannot prescribe any medications. You must keep your practice within the scope of your training, education, and experience. And on top of all that, starting August of last year of 2018, it wasn't just your background check and fingerprinting that was required. The state of Missouri now also requires you to add 2 hours of suicide treatment and assessment training. So that's added on top of those. Continued education for a licensed professional counselor is 40 hours a year. And 20 hours of those can be seminars, workshops. 20 hours can be self-study. And that concludes my video. And I hope that this helps some of you understand a little more, maybe some differences between your state and the state of Missouri.